Hello there everyone, my name is Reggie Goodday and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you very much. So the last video we looked at life in Ireland in the 1980s. Before that we looked at drinking habits of Irish people in the 1970s. So I think we should go on to the 1990s now. We're going to look at the news from 1990 itself because that was kind of a big year for Ireland. We were in the World Cup. We're also in the World Cup in 1994 as well. It was also the decade where Ireland just kept winning the Eurovision year after year. It was nuts. We held the title for like most Eurovision wins ever, which was 7, and now we're drawn with Sweden, I think. It was a pretty big deal back in the day. Anyway, so we're going to go through the news. I haven't seen this video, so whatever pops up, pops up. Disclaimer, of course. This is kind of for, over 18s, let's just say. And I just kind of like making these videos and having a look back at old Irish TV. So RTE is basically the Irish version of the BBC. Radio Telefishéireann, Radio TV of Ireland, if you will. I think that's what it means. Anyway, so let's have a look.
Anne Doyle joins us now with a late news summary. The UN Security Council meeting in New York has imposed mandatory economic sanctions and an arms embargo against Iraq following its invasion of Kuwait. The vote was 13 in favour, with Cuba and Yemen abstaining. Iraqi forces have rounded up Europeans and Americans in Kuwait. Some have been taken to Baghdad. The Foreign Office in London said...
So this is 1990, and yet, it's still going on, lads. It's still going on.
Several hundred Britons had been taken there. The Bonn government said West German and French citizens had been moved from hotels in Kuwait to Baghdad. Mrs. Thatcher said a blockade would be considered if the sanctions on Iraq adopted by the UN were not observed.
It is funny how she's reading off of her notes and she isn't reading off of the teleprompter. I think this is like breaking news. But it's just like...
Speaking at a joint news conference with President Bush in Washington, Mrs. Thatcher said the UN resolution was one of the most comprehensive she had ever seen. She said civilized nations must observe the rules with regard to citizens of other countries, and that the world would make its own judgment if the rules were not observed. In Pretoria, the ANC has announced that it's suspending all armed actions with immediate effect. The announcement came at the end of a 15-hour meeting between the ANC and the South African government. It said no further armed actions and related activities by the ANC and its military wing would now take place. Scotland Yard forensic...
So I think that was like the Free Mandela thing, maybe. It was try to free Mandela.
Experts are examining the bomb found outside the former London home of Lord Armstrong. He was Mrs. Thatcher's cabinet secretary until 1987 and for many years one of the Prime Minister's most trusted advisors. The bomb had been planted beneath...
I love that, the tape distorting. And I think we've seen a bit of Star Trek or something there.
The car belonging to an American woman now living in Lord Armstrong's former home. The device is said to have contained about 2 pounds of high explosives.
That's crazy.
The weather forecast, there's a possibility of a few light showers in the north and northwest. Otherwise, it'll be dry with clear spells. Cool overnight.
So the rest of it's just the weather. So yeah, she's kind of talking about the IRA then as well in Northern Ireland. They really were still a thing very much during the 90s until 1999 when we got the peace deal done. But we'll get to all that. So this is, like I said, Ireland was in the World Cup and in 1990, and so this is just kind of a news report of that.
Shutters came down on Elvery store in Suffolk Street shortly after opening time this morning. But angry fans who had been queuing since 6 o'clock yesterday evening wouldn't believe all the tickets had been sold.
So loud.
80% of the tickets are allocated to clubs throughout the country. 6,000 go on sale publicly, and approximately half of those go to Dublin outlets.
They announced that they had 550 tickets. They only let 100 people in. And then the guard announced that there was no more tickets left. That they'd all go home, you know.
Now, did people faint in the queue?
Yeah, there was two, one woman and then a girl was taken off.
Was anybody hurt?
He was taken away in an ambulance.
It's unfair. We've been here for about 14 hours.
Some grey old Irish haircuts here. Just like, you know, it's every walk of life really just coming together going, we want tickets to go and see Ireland play.
No tickets.
Of course, it's all done online now, but it's the same kind of thing. Like, a guy goes in and buys many tickets as he can and then sells them for 4 times as much.
And there's definitely tickets inside, you know.
He has no tickets left at all. He has. He showed me the receipt. Okay. What for every from the FAI?
As long as the demand is for 3 times as many tickets as we have for sale, it's going to be a problem. I think what's happened is that there are many people who've attended lots of games, particularly people who've attended games in recent years, who cannot get tickets because they don't have an affiliation with a particular club or whatever. Maybe the tip is get yourself affiliated to a club from now on.
Okay, so now this is after the game. Ireland and England draw 1-1 in Italia 90.
The Taoiseach flew out from Dublin Airport today for a series of meetings with European leaders in advance of the EC Heads of Government meeting in Dublin at the end of this month. Before he left, Mr Haughey reiterated his fulsome support for Jack's lads after yesterday's performance against England.
I sent a message to Jack.
Jackie Charlton won the World Cup with England back in 1966, but then he managed Ireland in 1990 and 94, and so it was Jackie Charlton, boys, lads, you know. There were songs.
The captain and the members of the team before the match, and I'll be sending him a message of congratulations this morning, and of course best wishes from here on in.
Messages of goodwill were likewise in.
Yeah, I'll just put on the subtitles.
Plentiful supply in Dublin last night, with the whole city caught up in a joyful frenzy as crowds of people poured onto the streets, all talking about Kevin Sheedy's late equaliser and savouring the draw Ireland had snatched from the jaws of defeat. Horns blared, flags waved, and grown men hugged and kissed one another. It was that kind of a night. There was a lot of singing.
Grown men hugged and kissed each other. It was that kind of a night.
Sometimes different melodies and rhythms, but the words always the same. Something along the lines of ole, ole, ole. With the motion running high, the Anna Livia fountain in O'Connell Street gave some a chance to cool off.
That fountain doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. It's the spike, the spiral now is there where it is now.
In the midst of all this, there was some perhaps.
I did actually talk about that in the previous video, but they didn't actually show it. They were showing the street alright, but they didn't actually show that fountain. I'll just go back to it. So yeah.
O'Connell Street gave some a chance.
So yeah. So there used to be this fountain in the middle of O'Connell Street, but it's gone now.
To cool off.
Goal off Lydica's chest into the back of the net. Right. Apart from that, they did nothing. But one chance, and that was after Ireland scored. Don't forget it. Confident to the end. How are we going to do from now on?
So I think I have to kind of point out too that a lot of the players that played for Ireland were actually English. Their parents or their grandparents were Irish, so that's how they got in the Irish team. But they weren't initially picked for the English team. So then they were said, hey, do you want to go play in the Irish team then? Oh yeah, okay. So that's why we kind of did so well in 1990 and in 94 as well. Because half the team was English. Half English, whatever.
Oh, it worked! So we hammered them now with football. We hammered them.
I love that t-shirt. That's a great t-shirt.
Great result.
And a 1-all draw is as good as a victory.
A few miles it was the same story. A joy that seemed to know no boundaries, and an unbridled optimism about Ireland's chances in the rest of the competition.
Oh, we were really proud of Ireland. We really were proud of Ireland. I mean, it was a fantastic comeback. 1-0.
Yeah, so I'm using Bradley Cam to record this, and I have to stop it every 10 minutes, otherwise the audio and the video goes out of sync. So that's why I stop it. But anyway, it shouldn't be much interference with your side.
Points today in the Irish performance,
Strong
you reckon?
points was our attacking. We were great.
Well, the first goal by the English was a fluke.
Yeah?
Oh, it was very dodgy.
Yeah?
They played a great match, Ireland.
What do you reckon were the strengths, and what do you think are the things we're going to have to work on in the future?
Well, I think the defence is in a very bad way.
Yeah?
I think McCarthy didn't play very well at all.
Right.
And I thought the goal shouldn't have been never a goal.
Yeah.
Because the ball was out over the line and it never should have been a goal. But after Ireland scored the goal, they got very full of confidence and they were playing very well. And they should have won by at least 2 or 3 easily.
In Sligo Town last
Mick McCarthy actually went on to manage the Irish team as well, and they did very well too. They went out to Japan, and they actually did very well too.
night, it was once again optimism and ecstasy run riot as the local fans hit the roof when Ireland equalised.
We hammered into the goal for 19 minutes and a goal they got. And we come back. Took down the ball.
It would have been pretty funny if we had bet England, because then you know the English rejects bet the English. It would have been great. But 1-0 was like a win.
Wins chest, hit over his hand, and needed a pipe had he bought it. Float, further wasn't.
We were on top the whole way through. We deserved the win, but we're happy with a draw.
I didn't think we'd come back to them as we did. And I hope the second game will be better. That we really get through all together the next time.
It's a great result for us. One of the best. They're definitely one of the best sides. We proved that in Europe. There's nobody to touch us, not now anyway. We'll take Egypt, we'll take Holland, little lot, the whole lot.
I know nothing about football, I just know it's great for the Guinness.
So yeah, so there's Italia 90. I probably should make like a video on that. There's loads of videos of that on YouTube. But I'm just kind of skipping through the decade of like the big things of the decade. Hi guys, Reggie Goodyear here from the future. I just realised that I actually forgot to show you the Irish team coming home from Italia 90. So that's what I'm going to do now. And yeah. I don't know if the copy music will be copy, but yeah, you can see the huge crowds for them. Big celebration because Ireland did so well in Italia 90, and yeah, they got everybody out like, you can't do this now. It's so dangerous. Oh my god, it's crazy. But I'm hoping like I don't get copyright. The music doesn't get copyright. So I'm just gonna skip it along here a little bit. They're on an open top bus. And we're going through the streets of Dublin, I guess. Yeah. And then so there's a helicopter view and everybody out with the tricolours. So yeah, so there's the middle of Dublin. It's like St. Patrick's Day. It's crazy. So yeah.
I think it's
It's Mick McCarthy.
A big thank you to everybody.
So he was captain of the Irish team at the time. He later went on to be manager of the Irish team in 2002.
To all the people that travelled to Italy to watch us and supported us so well and behaved so well, they were a credit to Ireland. And to thank everybody here who's turned up today. They've made us feel very proud to be Irish.
Players.
It's Jack Charlton, the manager.
We prepared properly. We had a little bit of sun. We ate well. And we drank very little. We're going to change that tonight.
There was actually a story of when they were in Italy, Jack Charlton actually asked the team, is there anything you wanted to do while we're here? And they went away and they came back and they said, yeah, we want to meet the Pope. So they actually went and they went to a blessing of the Pope, basically. And yeah, so there you go. So this is me from the future actually just editing this bit in, because I think it's really important to show the love and support that Ireland have for their football team. So there you go. Hi guys, Reggie Goodday here from the future. So this is another key moment that I kind of forgot to put into the video. It's when Ireland elected our first female president, Mary Robinson, in 1990. So this is just her basically getting inducted.
Agini Ushla, citizens of Ireland, Manon Heron, August Fearna Heron, you have chosen me to represent you, and I am humbled and grateful for your trust. The Ireland I will be representing is a new Ireland, open, tolerant, inclusive. Many of you who voted for me did so without sharing all my views. This, I believe, is a significant signal of change, a sign, however modest, that we have already passed the threshold to a new pluralist Ireland. The recent revival of the old concept of the fifth province expresses this emerging Ireland of tolerance and empathy. The old Irish term for province is ceochad, meaning a fifth, and yet, as everyone knows, there are only 4 geographical provinces on this island. So where is the fifth? The fifth province is not anywhere here or there, north or south, east or west. It is a place within each one of us, that place that is open to the other, that swinging door which allows us to venture out and others to venture in. Anciently.
So if you want to check out the whole speech, it's on YouTube. I'll just show you. It's here on YouTube, on the official YouTube channel of President of Ireland. So this is, I was trying to find footage of like Mary Robinson, people celebrating Mary Robinson being elected president. But this is kind of only the real footage I can find, so it's got some copyright music in it. But here you can see her, like, you know, and she's on the den. We watched this before actually with it was a video made ages ago about the den, and yeah, I showed Mary Robinson being on it and making some jokes. It was really funny. So she was only president for one term for 7 years, but there she is, casting her ballot and.
Women of all parties and none, by many with great moral courage, who stepped out from the faded flags of the Civil War and voted for a new Ireland, and above all, by the women of Ireland, Manana Heron. The women of Ireland, Manana Heron, who instead of rocking the cradle, rocked the system.
So this is kind of showing you what happened in 1990, but you can go ahead and watch that if you want. There's the link there. I'll give it a thumbs up. It only has 27 views, but I just kind of wanted to show you the crowd celebrating or her being elected president. So there you go. Okay, so that was a bit of 1991. We're going to go on to 1992 now. I might have to do two-part of 1990s. I'll see what happens. So this is what matters to you in Ireland, 1992.
Things and family matters that concern them most. Come on.
It's obviously in Dublin. Oh, God. Copyright music. Oh, copyright music. She's running around.
Adoption? Babysitting. Cure heads. Dads. Ecstasy. Finance. Grannies. Holidays.
Kitchens.
Love. Mother. Nightmares. Ouija boards.
Ouija boards? What matters to you? Ouija boards? What? What? Like the two bikers here are saying music. Look at the fashion in the background. That's kind of cool. That's interesting. Not much has changed. The buildings are still the same. They're still selling flowers there. It's just obviously the signs and what they're selling has changed. That's all really. Hopefully this doesn't get copyright. Role models.
Telltales. Uncles.
What?
Vandalism.
Vandalism.
Washing up. Xenophobia.
Huh?
Zoos. Well, we have to think of something starting with that, didn't we? And we know families are
Zoos.
hypothetically speaking. Oh, God. Isn't that right, Henry?
What's the hippo?
Come on, Henry. Do you want a banana? Open up. All right.
Okay.
New Garnier 8.
Okay, I'm not being sponsored by anybody, full disclosure. Obviously I can't help the ads, but anyway. So this is Mary Robinson, the first female president of Ireland, and she's speaking St. Pepper's 1992 of the year of high drama.
I am of Ireland. Come dance with me in Ireland. Garamila Mahagiv Galer.
Mary Robinson won the November 1990 presidential election, promising a more outspoken and active approach to the role, which soon brought her into conflict with the government. Barrister Dermot Gleeson advised government that the president had no right to say anything in public without government permission. The constitutional scheme clearly envisages that the final word on presidential pronouncements should rest with the government. President Robinson told Taoiseach Charles Haughey she had extreme difficulty in accepting such a narrow and restrictive interpretation of the role of the president. Government officials complained that the president was giving media interviews without informing them and claimed that this would inevitably lead to conflict with the government.
So, interesting story about Mary Robinson. We were going on our holidays one year. President of Ireland gets to be president for 7 years. That's one term of 7 years for an Irish president. Obviously, our government is set up different from other governments around the world. But anyway, so 1 year we were going on holidays and we're on the plane, and all of a sudden there was a bit of a kerfuffle, and Mary Robinson got on the plane, and she said, I can't remember if she got on the intercom or not, but she said that her plane broke, and there was seats available on an airplane, so she got on an airplane, and we went off on our holiday. It was amazing. It was crazy. Yeah, it was very like, I must have been, I don't know, I'll have to ask. I should have asked my mum, like, when did that happen? My older sister, because obviously I was like 5 when that happened or something like that. But it's one of my earliest memories that she came on the plane and that. And yeah, it was just a crazy thing that happened. But she was great. She fought for lots of different things.
In February 1992, the president was accused in confidential documents of creating a situation of controversy by commenting publicly on the X case, while in March, Taoiseach Albert Reynolds expressed serious concern after the president was reported
What is that? So this is the Taoiseach, or Prime Minister. What is, like, it's like a rush, it's like Vladimir Putin set up. Like, what? That is just crazy. Why is there a TV there? Can he see what's outside his door? There's like buttons here. That's what? The old phone. That's crazy.
Have invited Britain's Queen Elizabeth to visit Ireland. In September,
that didn't happen till way later on. When Mary Robinson was president, that didn't happen way later on.
1992, President Robinson sought government permission to visit Somalia to draw international attention to the famine in that country.
They need clothes, they need shelter, they need medical supplies, and above all, they need the food to survive. And I know that more than 100 died since we've been here today.
The government...
So you can kind of get a feel for that. So this is life as a female farmer in County Wicklow in Ireland in 1992. Hopefully we won't get copyright.
We had a dairy herd. We had about 40 odd cows, but animal disease became a major problem at the time that the quotas came out in about 83, and we had to depopulate the entire herd, which led to serious financial difficulties. I think my dad had enough of farming for his lifetime, and he decided to take it easy. So he divided the farm among my brother and myself. I have 50 acres, half of which is reclaimed, and half in the process of reclamation at the moment. Well, I started off, I had in my mind to increase my ewe flock. I have now approximately 260 ewes. I started with about 70.
Well done.
We had a very small quota when the cows went. You know, something like, when the quota was split, it would be something like 7,000
That's
gallons,
not a great setup.
Which means, in today's standards of farming, there's only 7 cows, you know. So it wasn't worthwhile to even think about, you know, getting into dairying and waiting for a quota to come along. Having, you know, a bit of extra grass.
So this is interesting because I know a bit about farming. This is when kind of these sheds came into it. You know, they had the old kind of half moon sheds, but these are kind of like the big sheds. And so this is kind of, I guess this is for a dairy, milking the cows. And then these things would be for feeding them with hay.
On the farm, you know, at the time I took it over, like, there was no income really from it, and I had to build it up to have an income off it. So, you know, I decided, like, to look after the farm first, and I think then, you know, when you have an income off the farm, then you can develop and, you know, improve the house. You know, it's a long time to wait, but
that's obviously an extension. To put that extension on at some point, because that's the front of the house there. Anyway, I digress. Sorry. I think this is the back of the house, but yeah, it's still an extension.
The first time I rang the bank manager, I wanted to make an appointment, you know, for
the old banks.
The famous loan for the shed. His first remark to me was, when I give my name, address and so on, he says, Oh, I said, yeah, Vincent's sister, he said. And I said, well, I'm not here to talk about Vincent or being his sister. I said, I want to see, and it's about me, but it was just...
It's so staged, but it's great. Look at the old TV.
It's just over now at the moment, so we're trying to get back to normal again.
Your time is your own again, almost.
That's it, yeah, that's it.
And is the shed finished?
We didn't actually get the shed finished.
No.
Unfortunately, not for the lambing. So we've a lot of work.
Oh, it's for the lambing.
No problems with him now. The only problem is paying him all this interest on the money he's charging me. I'm just a customer now, like anybody else, and he treats me just the same. There's no difference, I don't think. I do
all supermarkets.
From shopping, cooking, cleaning, making meals.
Sorry, it's quite a long video. It's so I just skipped along to see. You can see what it's like inside of an old farming house.
My mother died when I was 8. But it had been a big effect on me. It meant that
I love them
I
buns.
became more involved in, we'll say, the farming end of it, and also in the house. I'll probably get that fertilizer spread this evening. Whatsoever. In the summertime.
The old tractors.
And actually be able to maybe grow a bit of hay from the bottom.
The old Ford tractors. They go for a lot of money if you restore them.
Fields. Something which I can't really do because I am heavily stocked. I can never. You definitely wouldn't tell anybody how much it was because they think you were mad. But I think if I saw something and it really caught my eye, I'd have to get it. That's it. I just.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. I just feel funny and so on. I don't know. What do you think? No, I like it. I really do.
It is actually nice.
Thanks, me somehow. I don't know. It was in the 70s.
Oh, the case.
And, I found it very interesting.
Okay, there's not much from 1993. We're moving on to 1993, and obviously it's when Ireland won the Eurovision Song Contest. Actually, we won it in 92, and then we won it again in 93, I think. Sure. So yeah, it's just to kind of put that in context. Obviously, I can't play it. But yeah. Another thing I can't really play is Johnny Cash was in Ireland and he was on the Little Late Show and he sang a few songs and it was great. Yeah. Okay, so this is a weird one. As Return to Emerald Isle 1993. It comes from 13 News now. This is obviously from their archive, so let's just have a laugh at it. Cork, they're in Cork. I mean, the music shouldn't get copyright, but I don't know. They're kind of just going all around Ireland.
Happy Mother's Day from Dublin, Ireland. I'm Joe Flanagan. I've got me Irish hat, me Irish sweater. I've even got me Irish mother alongside.
Nobody wears them sweaters. Nobody. Just the tourists. They're just made. My auntie actually makes these and she just sells them to Americans online. Yeah, that's all. just Americans wear them.
Of me. This is Harriet
Don't really
Flanagan.
wear them hats.
Say hi.
My grandfather used to wear them hats, so don't really wear them hats anymore.
Mom. Hello. We are celebrating Mother's Day this year by tracing our family roots and kissing the Blarney Stone.
Oh, of
We're
course,
going to
yeah.
visit an authentic Irish country inn and even see how they make that world-famous Waterford crystal. But our journey
Waterford Crystal isn't even in Ireland anymore. It's moved to Poland.
begins in Killarney, where we happen to cross the annual Killarney
I think it
Folk
moved to
Festival.
Poland. Back in the pubs. So again, I reviewed
Music, pubs, and people.
I reviewed the drinking culture in Ireland in the 70s and life in the 80s. And you can check them videos out. But yeah.
What more could we ask for on our first day in Ireland? 10,000 people live here.
But see, that's the thing that happens when Americans come to Ireland. They think that this is what it's like, and it isn't. It isn't like this anymore. that's why when they go to Dublin, there's always a guy playing a guitar, playing traditional music, because like you only get that at night time on the weekends. You know what I mean? The guys with this kind of stuff. This happens naturally in the weekends. It's not all of the time. You know what I mean?
Irish square dance. There
Irish
were
square
polka sets,
dancing.
jig sets, and some called a Clare set.
Country, like American country western, was very big in the 90s.
Whatever set it was, these folk festival goers were set on having a good time.
And the music that we heard here today is the music of Killarney, the Killarney area, and it's very special. It goes back a long way.
Are these flowers on here now? Or
Wild iris blooms the yellow flower in July.
There is no connection of the Cockneys here with the Cockneys in Cork, or the Cockneys in Killarney, or the Cockneys in North Kerry.
Oh, well, we felt some sense of accomplishment, meeting a living, breathing Corkery our first full day in Ireland. It was time to hit the road.
My uncle used to have one
Now,
of
to
them
give you
vans.
some idea where we were, we flew into Shannon on the western side of Ireland.
Ireland.
There, we drove south through Limerick and Tralee and on into Killarney. Today,
That must have took them ages. Especially back then. That must have took them like a day.
the road would take us past Ladies View in the mountains outside Killarney.
It's lovely.
And what a view it is.
It's all
Wonder if it's
bad,
bad luck to cross that. We better wait. Driving in Ireland is a trip in itself. Be prepared to sit on the other side of the car, drive on the other side of the road, and travel down roads that, well, look like country lanes. But no time to dally. We only had a week to trace our routes and see the sights like the world-famous Blarney Castle. Built in 14...
That's just for tourists, by the way. It's just for tourists. It's a great castle. Like, you know, I'd love to go to it one day. Actually, I asked my father one time, can we go to Blarney? You want to go to Blarney? So you were out already. When? When you were 3. Like, you know. But, yeah, it's basically just mostly for tourists.
50, legend has it that if you kiss the Blarney Stone, you'll receive the gift of eloquence. There you go. Kissing the stone.
I obviously don't need to kiss it, because if you're a fan of the show, you know, yeah.
Stone is quite a process.
Did you get me? Yeah! Did you get me? Hi, America.
Kissing comes first, eloquence second.
43, 44, 45.
Getting to the stone involves climbing the castle tower, over 100 castle steps. Once you're there, you're under the watchful eye of Christy Dennehy. Talk about a Joe's job.
You get them to hold the bars and take their time. It's the whole secret. You get some people who are in a rush, and then they end up splitting their heads. Whereas if you take your time, do it properly, anybody can kiss it in the right place.
Oh my lord.
Now, Mom Flanagan decided she was
He only recently retired. He was doing it for decades. He only recently retired.
eloquent enough, and there were too many castle steps.
I'm stopping.
All right, you stay here, and I'll go up.
So I forged on alone. Meanwhile, back at the stone, Christy was talking about the best place to kiss it.
Most people like to kiss it on the bottom edge. But, you know, it depends on the mobility of the person. You know, how far back their back will allow them go, you know?
Kissing the stone has only been going on for 300 years. Some say the stone may have come from the Crusades, while others say it may have been a gift from a Scottish ruler.
Okay, so you can obviously check that out for yourselves if you fancy it, but I'm going to move on. So obviously I can't play it, but again, I'll just keep mentioning Eurovision every now and again because it is important to 1990s Ireland. We won it again with Rock and Roll Kids, really good, and it was also the year Riverdance premiered, and I'll just show it a second here. Obviously I can't.
And now, my friends, Riverdance, a full-bodied orchestral dance piece composed by Bill Whelan, involving traditional Irish dancers. the Celtic Choir Onuana, and the magical dance partnership of Gene Butler and Michael Flatley.
Ladies and gentlemen, Riverdance.
Now, obviously, I can't show you the performance because it's copyright, but yeah, a lot of people say we won because of that. A lot of people thought that that was our entry. And it wasn't. It was Rock and Roll Kids, but because we put on such a good show, Europe voted for us to win it again, so it was crazy. Yeah, Riverdance is still going. It's crazy. It's crazy. I seen it one time. I seen it once because my relatives from Denmark came over and they wanted to go and see Riverdance, and that's how I kind of found out that my mum's cousin is one of the choreographers. Was one of the choreographers at the time, and so we got tickets for it. We actually got tickets for a rehearsal, and we went in with the news reporters and that, and yeah, that was in the 90s, I remember. Yeah, and it was great. I loved it. I actually fell asleep at one point for like 10 minutes, and it was very long, but yeah, it was great. And Flatley.
Spectacular performance you have ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, Gene Butler and Michael Flatley.
It's Jerry Ryan. He was a radio host. He's one of the best radio hosts ever. He sadly passed away. But anyway, we move on. So, like I've been saying earlier, Ireland was very much football mad in the 90s because we qualified for the 1990 World Cup and the 1994 World Cup in America. So here's a little news report from that.
It was on, it was off, but finally they arrived home. This morning, just after 9 o'clock, the Aer Lingus Jumbo carrying Jack and the lads touched down at Dublin Airport. From inside the plane, the players could see the somewhat unusual guard of honour which was awaiting them. Even though the public were encouraged not to turn up at the airport, well over 1,000 people were there to pay the first of many tributes throughout the day to the lads in green. The official welcoming home party was led by the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach, along with most other members of the cabinet. The Taoiseach said the team had done the country proud. Jack said he was glad to be home. Then the team began to disembark, led by Captain Andy Townsend. They may not have brought back the World Cup, but they were heroes nonetheless.
The best ambassadors we have is Jack and the squad, and they have supported. I mean, everybody around the world knows about Ireland today.
We did okay. No, we did enough to just survive going there. We were a bit disappointed in the last result, but that was the only one. The rest of the time, I had a bunch of lads that worked themselves into the ground, and they deserve a break.
Taoiseach, what message do you have for the country? What message do you have for Jack Charlton?
Jack Charlton and the squad did Ireland proud over the last number of weeks. It was hard work for them. You can see that they're all tired, but it's good for sport. As Jack said, it was good and bad, but let's enjoy the good.
I tell you what, you don't know how sick I am of looking at people like that.
Sick he may have been of the media, but he was asked the question that's on everybody's lips. Is he going to stay on as the Irish manager?
I think I'm looking for your job.
Listen, I'm not looking for yours either.
No, I'm glad you're not.
Listen, I said I would take about a month to just sit down and feel out the temperature of what's going on. You know, I am 60 next birthday and I've been in the job a long time. I would probably almost certainly stay on and take the European Championship. But I just want to feel the attitude and how things turn out. You'd be surprised.
After the presentation of a set of fishing flies by the Taoiseach, Jack and the rest of the team made their way to a local hotel to freshen up before the journey to the park to meet the fans. It was to be their day.
Army were on an all-time high even before a ball was kicked.
So that I kind of skipped to the end there by accident, but so this is kind of a news report of people actually going out to America to watch the World Cup.
They were singing in the bars, at the airport, and even on the planes.
God, I can only imagine. The old projector.
In all, there were 14 transatlantic flights, some planes coming straight back to pick up more of the 5,000 fans.
Oh my God.
It was probably Dublin Airport's busiest day ever, with temporary check-in desks set up in the car park. Many had saved for a
check-in desks. Do you remember check-in desks? Oh my God. It's just all automatic now, it's all online.
For this one,
my wife borrowed £500 this time 4 years ago, sent me over to the quarter final. And when I came back, I said, that's it. I'm starting to save now. I owe you a holiday. And we're going to qualify for the American World Cup. So I'll bring you for a holiday. I'll take in the matches.
Who the hell do you think's going to win the World Cup? We're not going over there just for the Budweiser, do you?
I love that jersey. That was a great jersey.
Face Italy tomorrow night. That's when we last showed.
And if there are any doubts the country hasn't gone soccer mad, just talk to Michael and Anne from Dublin. They actually called off their wedding so they could be on side with Jack.
That's nuts.
Ireland qualified and they cancelled the wedding. So we're going to get married next year.
Next year instead.
But
no money we'll spend on, we're going to have a great wedding. So we have to go home next year and stay in for the whole year to save.
Yeah, you won't really.
But you simply just couldn't miss this.
No.
Oh no.
We borrowed. The credit union is a wonderful thing. We're paying back probably for the next 10 years.
Okay, could you tell
Others just jumped ship and left everything behind at short notice.
Oh my God.
Setting our present house. We're building a new house in Glamire, and I don't think a house has been built there for the last 60 years. My husband is expanding his business right this week while we're moving. We've our 25th wedding anniversary, the 12th of July. My first daughter is getting married the 28th of July. So you can imagine, it was a total surprise.
Surprise will spare a thought for poor old Joe Daly from Cork. At 8 this morning, he found out he brought the wrong passport.
Oh, no.
My passport which was issued to us around Christmas, hadn't my visa stamped up.
An anxious time as Joe waited for a friend who was travelling up from Cork with the all-important message. 20 minutes before departure.
He got it. Brilliant.
And let's hope the story of this World Cup will have just as happy an ending for the boys in green.
Okay, so I'm going to do a part 2. Obviously, the 90s is a lot happening in the 90s. So I'm going to end with 1995 for part 1, and then I'm going to do a part 2 next week. So 1995 saw obviously Ireland trying to qualify for the Euros, and we played England in Lansdowne Road, and unfortunately there was a riot of the English fans. So let's have a look at that.
The clearing up operation at Lansdowne Road less than 24 hours after the worst scenes of violence ever witnessed at an Irish international soccer match. In the aftermath of the trouble, today the questions are being asked. How did it happen and who was at fault? These are the questions which the FAI and the Gardaí will have to answer in the coming days and weeks. It was clear from the kick-off that trouble was in the air. Booing and Nazi salutes at the playing of the national anthems.
That's
mental. But the real trouble flared up minutes after the Irish goal was scored.
Yeah.
The questions have to be asked. Why were the English fans on the top deck of the West Stand and some Irish fans mixed in with them? Were the security arrangements adequate? A number of Irish fans have said there was no Garda presence whatever on the upper stand when the...
Yeah, it should have been just a full stand for them. that's mental. That was a big boo-boo. That was a big mistake they made there.
The match began.
But football hooliganism was still big in England in the 1990s. So yeah.
Alan Hunter says the FAI certainly have questions to answer.
In the last couple of years, there has been a tendency with the FAI to want to know exactly how much money they can get out of you.
But the most damning evidence of all that something went horribly wrong in the
FAI, Football Association of Ireland,
ticket allocation comes from some of the home supporters. Brian Doody and 4 of his friends are ardent followers of the Irish team. Brian has been at the last 2 World Cups and all home internationals for the past 10 years. Last night, he and his friends found themselves in the front row of the West Upper Stand, surrounded by hundreds of
You don't really see that anymore. Vegetable shops. There used to be loads of them growing up. Don't really. It's just superstores now.
English fans.
I was up in the upper tier in the West Stand on Lansdowne Road, surrounded by English supporters. They were literally in our seats when we tried to sit down. They moved and they were just all around us in the aisles and everything.
But where did you get your ticket from?
We got them from the FAI. After we block booked 10-year tickets, they gave us this complimentary, about 5 of us.
But people were told, we were under the impression that no Irish fans were meant to be where the English fans were.
It's even stamped Visitors Association on this, and we got it definitely from the FAI.
So it should have. That is obviously an English ticket.
Yeah, people just sold them and bought them. Didn't care. They just wanted in to see the game, and that was it. It's kind of a lot better now because with rugby it is just mixed. And the rugby fans are fine, but football fans, they still have to celebrate them. It's a shame, really.
Yes, it was destined for English fans.
And how frightening was it up there?
Terrifying, to be honest. There was just punches and kicks coming from all directions. There was a little...
I won't get too much into it because obviously I can't show too much. They're just doing interviews about it.
Wednesday's network news is brought.
So just show you the old graphic. So Seoul RT2 graphic.
Now at 17.5 minutes to 11 from Eileen Dunn.
17.5 minutes to 11. Why not just 11 o'clock news?
Ireland-England soccer friendly abandoned as English fans run riot. One man dies of heart attack, and there are reports that an English fan has been stabbed. And there were more scuffles as rioters were put on the ferry home to England.
So I think the replay had to be played behind closed doors then.
60-year-old man died of a heart attack.
This was followed by a Garda baton charge.
Just mental. Obviously, I can't show too much of this because of terms of service.
To move the fans out of the country, but there are many hundreds more still to be moved from Lansdowne Road to Dunleary. The fans were herded into the ferry terminal, with the number of sailings expected between now and midnight.
Well, we're joined now by Peter Klusky from Dunleary. Peter, have any of those ferries sailed yet?
Yes, Eileen. In fact, the first sailing has already gone. It went at about 9:30. There were about 520 foot passengers on that ship, of whom about 300 were soccer fans. I think Stena Sealink have made their own private security arrangements for the sailing, but I also understand there are some 25 Gardaí on board to try and ensure a peaceful voyage.
And of those that are...
Thousands with the
Okay, so there was a massive heat wave in Ireland in 1995, so let's just look at that.
Continuing sunshine, thousands of people took to the beaches again this afternoon, and the forecasters predict the good weather will continue right through the bank holiday weekend. Farmers too have been making the most of the sunshine, although there have been appeals for greater safety awareness because of the alarming number of deaths in farm accidents.
Sun worshippers just cannot get enough of the heat, and beaches like Portmarnock in Dublin were again crowded this afternoon. Temperatures averaged 26 to 29 degrees, as high as yesterday's record for August. The view at Portmarnock was like a scene from a foreign holiday.
That's actually an average temperature in Ireland now. Like a heat wave was 25 to 29 degrees. That's an average temperature in the summer now in Ireland.
Brochure.
That's global warming.
However, doctors are warning people to prevent sunburn, which can damage the skin. The public are also advised to keep cool and drink plenty of fluids. and doctors warn that extremes of temperatures are a health risk, especially for old people. Farmers, meanwhile, are busy making hay and gathering the crops. Conditions are said to be ideal for farm machinery on the land, and the yield from crops is expected to be good despite earlier problems.
They don't really do the hay bales anymore because we used to get on top of them and run them down the hill, which was very dangerous, and we could have killed ourselves and broke our necks and stuff like that. But yeah, they're made out of squares now to kind of prevent that and kind of prevent people stealing them easily and burning them and stuff. So yeah.
Due to rain. Potato growers in some areas are facing problems because of drought. More farmers are watering potato crops this year, though even with irrigation, yields are expected to be down.
It was an expense I didn't expect to have to I hadn't it in the book of estimates, and hopefully it'll pay off.
You also said that potato consumption, as well as consumption of other food, has gone down quite dramatically this summer.
Yeah, due to the hot weather, it's causing problems in the market. Normally we would be starting to sell potatoes now, and we just have to hold off because the market's not there.
Farmers have been told to check animals every day for heat-related illnesses, and also not to spray slurry near watercourses to prevent pollution. Minister Ethna Fitzgerald called for vigilance on farms as she was alarmed that 16 people had died in farm accidents already this year.
So dangerous.
Meanwhile,
Bailing
urban
them up like
dwellers
that.
have been asked not to use hoses to water lawns and flowers. There have been warnings of water cuts in some places, and gardeners have been urged to use cans to water their flowers.
So we'll end with this. Prince Charles, obviously he's the king now, but he visited Ireland. He visited Dublin in 1995. So let's just have a quick look at that.
The incident happened after Prince Charles had opened the new British Tourist Authority offices on Dame Street. The Prince received a warm welcome from the enthusiastic crowd who gathered along the short route to Trinity College. But the protesters were also there in force, and at one stage eggs were hurled in his direction, one landing just inches away from the Prince, another hit his car. Three men have since been charged in connection with the incident. But Prince Charles himself appeared untroubled as he left the noisy streets for the relative calm in the grounds of Trinity College. There, a relaxed Prince of Wales...
So you have to remember too, guys, the troubles were still going on in Northern Ireland. We were desperately trying to get a peace deal done. We were desperately trying to get Good Friday done. So this was all part of it. Trying to, just trying to get it done. Meeting with world leaders and stuff like that.
Chatted with the crowd, always willing to lend a helping hand. But the biggest welcome of the day came from the woman dressed in brown to the left of the picture.
Give us an out kiss.
What's your name? Tell us what's your name.
Mrs. Bernie Fitzgerald.
Oh, why did you give him a kiss?
Because he's gorgeous. And I thought he might be missing his own,
And how did he react to the kiss?
He loved it. He stayed in my arms for ages. I guess I'll tell you, I gave me a better hug than Diana or the other one that ever given.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, the Prince was back to more official functions, signing the visitors' book of Trinity before touring the library and viewing old manuscripts. And of course, the Book of Kells. Prince Charles also toured St Andrew's Resource Centre at Pier Street in Dublin's inner city.
Hello, how are you?
Among children who were drawing pictures to honour his visit, and was presented with a portrait by 3-year-old Gemma Murphy.
Oh my God,
Next, it was
I can only
across to the
imagine.
Senior Citizens Daycare Centre, who were clearly delighted.
Freaking Guinness.
One of the wonderful days of my life, and my eldest boy said to me, Mother, he said, I would love to be in your position. At you 82 years of age, to be able to see the Prince of Wales. Very nice, a gentleman he is.
Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all enjoyed part 1 of life in Ireland in the 1990s. It was a bit of a roller coaster. It was mostly football and Eurovision and stuff like that. And but yeah, that's just the way it was, kind of. Of course, there was a lot of Gaelic matches and all and everything like that, but kind of just a rough thing of like the biggest, what would the biggest things were going on in basically the 90s. In part 2, obviously, I will cover the Good Friday Agreement and all of that. But yeah, I hope you, and then the Millennium, of course. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the show, and I hope you like and subscribed, and I hope comment down below on what you might want me to do next in a future video, and what you think about this video. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the show, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.